The Daily Jaws 50th Anniversary interview series is a collection of amazing conversations exploring the legacy of Steven Spielberg's screen adaptation of Jaws through the eyes of the fans. We'll be talking to famous fans, shark experts, people whose lives have been changed by the movie, and those that were there that helped to make the film. We'll also be telling you about two amazing organisations that are very close to our hearts. Anyway, that's enough from me. Thank you for listening and enjoy the show. Mikey, whenever we post this photograph of you as the Jaws baby and you're in this crib, everyone asks the same question, and I'm really hoping you could put our minds at rest. Are you okay? What do we think is the right age to watch Jaws?
I think over one is probably the best.
Over one.
Him crying in the bed is totally what made it go viral. The reaction, that really makes it totally absurd. The crib itself and the baby crying, that was the perfect two together,
Guys, welcome to the Daily Jaws. How are you?
Hey there.
Great. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm so excited because I've not seen so much Jaws on my Zoom screen for a very, very long time. So it's a great thrill to have you all here. Mikey, I have to ask you, first of all, on behalf of the Jaws community, whenever we post that photograph of you in the Jaws crib, which is in the background, so the people that are listening to this on the podcast, Joe has actually got the Jaws crib in the background of his screen, and it looks beautiful, but apparently it's not seen the light of day for about 10 years. But Mikey, whenever we post this photograph of you as the Jaws baby, and you're in this crib, everyone asks the same question, and I'm really hoping you could put our minds at rest. Are you okay? Did you get traumatized by sleeping in that, or has it left you scarred?
No, I didn't.
That's good, because whenever we post that photograph of you, everyone's worried. Everyone's like, that poor kid, is he okay? which means I have to come to, obviously, Mark and Joe, father and uncle. Tell us the story behind the crib, because, some people love it and some people are a little bit disturbed by it. I mean, how did all this come about?
Well, I know that they were going to have a baby soon and have a very odd sense of humor. So this just kind of came out of nowhere. I told Mark we were going to make it, and I made it. And then we just photographed it just like for ourselves to put on Facebook. And within like 48 hours, it was like worldwide, like the Daily Mail, Good Morning America. We're like, what the hell's going on? It's pretty crazy.
It was one of those viral photos, and Jaws hasn't had too many viral moments, but you guys are definitely the gold standard in that. Every time it's reposted, people are just like, oh my God, this is incredible.
It's going on for years. It's amazing. It's amazing how long it's been going on.
Well, it's been 10 years. Mark, what did you think when you first saw Mikey in the crib? Like, what was going through your mind?
So I knew he had something up his sleeve, and Joe and I have known each other since high school, so our friendship goes back that far, and we lived in the same apartment building for years. When I moved up to New York after he returned back to New York from the little New Jersey town we grew up in, and we've always loved Jaws. We've always loved movies. And when the time came around that we knew we were having Mikey, I asked Joe to be Michael's godfather, knowing we had a little one on the way. And Michael's middle name is Joseph, so he's named after Joe there.
Oh, lovely.
I knew he had something, but I wasn't expecting that. And I brought it into the house, and my wife is not a science fiction, not a horror movie fan per se. And he came in and plopped the Jaws bed down on this little table we had in our living room, and she just shook her head and she's like, pictures. And as Joe said, it really wasn't meant for anybody but us.
Yeah.
But we posted them out on Facebook and didn't share them, didn't promote. It was literally a true viral moment that a couple hours later we started to see a lot of traffic on it. And then we started to see it get posted to different horror movie sites. And then we started to get contacted by the press. And it was just crazy how quickly the snowball rolled down the hill.
It is one of those things, isn't it? It's incredible. Mikey, when did you first kind of realize that you were Jaws famous?
5, maybe 4.
And how have you handled the stardom? Do you have to sort of sign many autographs or?
But you're open to the idea of it,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I want your autograph. I'm going to send you my address, and I'd love for you to send me a signed photograph of you in the Jaws crew because you are one of the famous people in the Jaws community. How does it feel to be the Jaws baby, Mikey?
Some people just think,
I think it's
How?
because how big I think it's because the Jaws community just love it when people do something different. And it's probably one of the most interesting and innovative ideas that I've seen in terms of the Jaws community. But obviously, you guys have loved Jaws for a long time, and it goes way before sort of when Mikey was born. And Mark, you were saying that you and Joe used to watch Jaws every day. Is that is
I,
that is that true?
as a kid, so in the town we grew up in, there was a roller rink and a movie theater. That was it. And I wasn't much of a roller skater, but when Jaws came back, right when Jaws 2 came out, they re-released Jaws into the theaters.
Mm.
This little tiny movie theater, like maybe 30 seats. Every day that summer, I would ride up to the movie theater and watch it. It was only like a 50-cent movie back then, and by the time it showed up on cable TV, and I was able to recite words, the script word for word. My grandfather looking at me like, "Why does this kid know every line of the movie?" It was kind of always a big thing in my house that we loved Jaws. And then when I met Joe in high school, he was kind of the horror movie guy, and I first met him when we worked on a high school performance of Little Shop of Horrors, and we were looking for some place to get the plant built. Somebody said, Joe, the kid with the mohawk, he does special effects, and we just became friends at that point. And many nights we would hang out at his grandparents' basement in the house that he lived in, and watch horror movies, and you name it, and we just have been friends ever since.
Wow. It's all three of you are Jaws fans. The thing I love about this story is that Mikey has embraced the Jaws as well. He hasn't been put off by the movie, even though you've kind of inflicted Jaws on him from even before he was able to understand what Jaws was, which I love. Mikey, when did you first see Jaws?
I think the first time I saw it was in a movie theater. It was a grand one.
Oh, that's when we went. So that was a little later. We saw that, but when he was little, we sent you a video once before where he was running back and forth, telling us what was going on the screen with right as Quint, meets Bruce, and I'll send you that clip. So if you want to play it, but Shark Eats Man was his commentary. He was maybe about 10. But probably about 6 years ago, I'd say, they did a Jaws showing at the St. George Theater, which is this historical theater on Staten Island. It's been there forever, kind of balconies, like old style movie theaters, and old style theaters in general, a historical landmark there. And Carl Gottlieb was there, and we were
Oh
just
yeah, forgot about that.
go up and say hi to him, get an autograph. I had my copy of the Jaws log, which he signed, and we said, you ever see the picture of the little baby in the shark crib? He's like, oh yeah, I know that, and I'm like, that's him. And he was laughing, and he took a picture with all of us we had on the phone the picture of the shark bed, and he took a picture with us all together, my wife and my eldest son and Mikey.
That's amazing. That's how famous you are, dude.
Amazing.
So here's a great question that I've always wanted to ask people who have handed Jaws down to their children, because when I've spoken to a lot of people about Jaws, they talk about it as being comfort food for themselves and the ultimate campfire story that they passed on to their friends, their family, their kids, whoever that is. But when it comes to the parents or the uncles or whoever it is passing it down to the new generation, what do we think is the right age to watch Jaws?
One, but I think over one is probably the best.
Over one.
Because if you bring a 1-year-old to a horror movie, and if you have a whole entire movie theater filled with it, and a horror movie is on, you
Mhm.
know.
not with a 1-year-old. I would say, if we're going to be honest, it's not an overly scary movie. I consider it more of a thriller than a horror movie, right? Because it's
Mm.
really about man versus nature, right? Like it's a
Plus action slash adventure.
yeah, it's so. I mean, I was probably about 8 when I first saw it, and I didn't think it was terribly scary.
Mm.
Yeah, like 6 to 8 is probably a decent age, given that it's kind of a classic monster but adventure movie too.
Mm. What about you, Joe? So we've got 1 and we've got 6 to 8. Where are you on the age scale?
Let's see. So it was released in 75, right?
Hmm.
I saw it on a re-release, I would say 76, 77. So that would bring me, I saw it when I was 6 in the theaters. So I guess it's really seeped into me.
Yeah, I was about the same age. I wasn't brave enough to watch it at 1 years old, Mikey. I'm not as brave as you, buddy. But I think I saw it around the same age as well. When I was about 6 or 8, I watched it on the TV, and like you guys, I was scared by it, but I didn't think it was a horror movie. It was like you say, like a thriller or an adventure, and I was just
Yeah.
completely drawn in by the story and the characters. I mean, what do you think makes Jaws so special for you guys?
Well, I mean, lots of things. It just brings back old memories of childhood, but it's one of the very few movies that you can watch at any point, and you come across it on TV, you put it on, and then you're like, oh, here, I guess I'm watching the whole movie now. It just draws you in. It never gets old. I went to go see the re-release last year in IMAX. And like the first 5 minutes, I was like, I'm not in the mood to watch this. And then 2 minutes went by, and then the movie was over, and it was just like, wow, it's just amazing. It's one
Yeah,
of those movies you can't explain it.
it is. What about you guys? What do you think makes Jaws so special?
It's really fun some parts. And then everything, really. It's magic. If you really look close into it, it's magical.
Yeah, it is
Ah,
magical. You know
it
what
is.
really the chemistry between the three actors is really what makes it. I mean, without them, you got a mechanical shark movie. you
I
know.
would say similar.
But
Even if you took the shark out of the story, right? Just the three characters of Brody, Hooper, and Quint. Just they all have their own unique story, and these three opposing personalities. And poor
yeah.
Brody in the middle of this, the two strong personalities of Hooper and Quint.
Mm.
He's every man, and the guy that we're viewing all of these events through his eyes, pretty literally at times.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
take the shark out of the movie. I think you put those three characters into a situation. That's a movie I'm watching regardless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But the shark is pretty cool too.
The shot comes in handy. Do you guys have a favorite character?
Who's your favorite?
Oh,
Brody.
Brody?
Yeah, Camp Brody too. I think. I think the fact that again, he's in the middle of all of this craziness. He's not prepared for any of it,
Mm,
and he's thrust into the middle of this situation. He hates the water and yet has to be in the middle of it with this giant shark. So Brody's my guy.
yeah.
Yeah,
What?
I'd have to say the same.
So it's all three. Brody, clean sweep of Brody. I think it's
You
a good
got it.
shout. I mean, he's one of the all-time great characters in cinema, isn't he? But he's put through a lot through the story, isn't he? He goes through the mill, as do all the characters. Do you guys have a favorite moment in the movie?
probably the ending. Because probably near the ending, because I like when Jaws blows up.
That is pretty spectacular. That is a pretty good. It's a cool way to end the movie, but definitely. Do you know that it was different in the book? The shark just sort of sinks to the bottom of the ocean.
hmm Yeah,
So that, that
I just recently listened to the audiobook, and it was very lackluster compared to the film.
yeah. Have you guys read the book, or is it just Joe? You have. What do you think about the book compared to the movie?
I
Um, Go ahead, Mark.
I was gonna say I think part of the magic is also how the story was edited down to the most important pieces.
Yeah.
Sure, there were some subplots that could have maybe given a little more color in the movie, but you didn't need them. But
Mm.
yeah, I wasn't a fan of the whole Hooper, Mrs. Brody thing. I didn't like any of that.
The mafia.
Yeah, the mafia thing I think could have explained a few things a little better, but not needed. Sometimes the story just needs to be what you see. It doesn't necessarily need to be all the things that are outside of that story.
Yeah.
Yeah, generally speaking, I think as described, the shark encounters were a lot better in the movie.
Mm.
And of course the ending a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, I prefer
I
the
have,
ending.
I,
Sorry, go on,
I
Joe.
have to throw a favorite moment in where
Go for it.
they're all in Quint's shack, and Quint hands Hooper. I think, or maybe Hooper picks up the little shot of homemade whiskey, the moonshine,
Oh yeah, the
and Roy
moonshine.
Scheider just Roy Scheider just says, "Don't drink that."
I love those little character moments in there because Brody, for like as an example, he's got loads of them. Like there's one where he rushes to the edge of the water when Alex Kintner has just been killed, but he won't go in the water, so he literally skids to the edge, and that's as close as he gets. And then
Yeah.
the other one is when they're in the cabin and they've all just sort of finished singing, and they're all looking at their scars, and Brody just looks down at his waist, and it's just like, what do we think that
Great
is? Do you
scene, yeah.
think brilliant moment? Do you think that's like an appendix scar or something, or what do you think
Oh,
that is?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, all right.
Like a childhood scar, and they're showing, like battle scars.
Have you guys got any scars? I've got a scar on my finger here where I cut my finger when I was probably about Mikey's age, actually, when I was about 10. You guys got any scars?
I do. I don't know if the camera could pick it up. You can see one finger's crooked, and one's like, I'm really straight now. Like one's slightly
Okay.
curved. It's this one.
Okay. All
I
right.
I partially severed my pinky, and a dishwashing accident. I was broken glass in the sink, and the shard went in between the knuckle, and it kind of peeled back like a banana. Went to the hospital, went through surgery, and I woke up and my arm was in a cast, and it was in a cast for 2 months. And I had a piece of nylon string through the fingernail attached to the cast, so I could do resistance exercises and build the tendon back up.
I love the way that you refer to it as a dishwashing accident in the same way they talk about a boating accident. I like that a lot. That's very good. You should just say it's a boating accident because that sounds really cool.
It
Although
was
the
a boating
dishwashing accident is quite cool.
accident.
What about you, Mark and Mike? Have you got any scars?
Right by my ankle. I gotta have scorpion.
That's a little boo-boo. You'll be fine.
Oh.
Oh, sorry, guys. Bear with me just 1 second. I'm having just a slight technical thing. Bear with me just 1 second.
Mhm.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh boy. It's Deputy Hendricks.
Deputy Hendricks.
Yeah. Listen, I appreciate what you guys do. It's amazing.
Oh, awesome. I can't believe
Amazing.
you
I
just
came
popped
on
on
to
here.
surprise you. Ross set it
That's
up.
fantastic.
Ross is so good.
Wow. Fantastic to see you.
50 years. Look, I look like a bus hit me now, but
I recognized you immediately.
oh, you're very kind.
Ah,
you know,
I'm not kidding.
Oh, you're very sweet.
Still working the island?
Yeah. I still wear this hat. I went to a stop sign years ago in Los Angeles, and a cop pulls me over and he goes, you went through the stop sign. He said, I'm so sorry. I didn't even go over very far, a couple of feet. He goes, why are you wearing that hat? I said, I played the deputy in Jaws. He goes, oh, I love that movie. Don't do it again. So now I wear it like it's going to save my life forever.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, my gosh. You guys must have loved it. I mean, what you've done, look at this. It's fabulous. I get
I
it.
can't believe it's been going on so long. Have you seen this floating around before?
No, I had not seen it before. Ross brought it to my attention, and I was so impressed. I just loved it. So smart. It's so creative.
Thank
Can
you.
we
Thank you.
can we get a
Oh, I
closer look at
loved
the
it.
crib, Joe? Could you bring it to the camera maybe so we
Absolutely.
can just take a closer look?
So let me see here.
Oh boy,
So it's made out of styrofoam, believe it or not.
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love
You
it.
see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just had a call this morning with Greg Nicotero, who redid the shark for the museum.
Nice.
What people don't know is that he also did a duplicate for himself, and it's hanging in one of his living rooms, a 9-10 foot shark
Wow.
hanging from the ceiling of his living room. It was unbelievable.
That's amazing. That's so
fabulous.
awesome.
That must have taken a while, my dear.
Actually,
That's
not
fabulous.
not as long as maybe like a month or so. I'm
Yeah.
a sculptor by trade, so you can see in the background and whatnot. So
I get it.
you know, it was a
You know,
labor of love.
There was a guy who worked on Jaws 2 named Jay Lagerman, who has since become a pretty well-known sculptor, particularly on Martha's Vineyard, where there's a little fishing town called Menemcha, and he has this great sculpture of a swordfish, and he's just very good. You guys are so talented using your hands. It's unbelievable. I love it. I am
Thank you.
impressed, my dear. It's fabulous. And I just wanted to come on and tell you.
Well, that's really awesome for you to pop by. What a
Oh,
surprise!
you made my day. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Ross was so kind to let me come in and do this, and I'm happy to do it. And you're very talented. You made my day, kid. Thank you.
Thank you, man. You made my day. Fantastic.
You're very kind. I hope we meet. Where
That
are
would be
you?
fantastic. Staten Island, New York.
Oh, Staten Island. Yeah, I know Staten Island. Verrazano. We shot a pilot there years ago.
Really? What was it?
Stopped acting. We did a pilot called The Pastor's Wife, and we did it right on the ferry and all over Staten Island. It was about a young pastor who is going to be the associate pastor at a church on Staten Island. And he and his wife, they're 21 years old. And everybody comes to them about life, death, birth, divorce, everything. And they're 20. They're 21 years old. They have no life experience. And it's so interesting because it really isn't about religion. It was about common sense. It was such an interesting idea. Yeah. It never went as a series, but it was a good pilot.
If you get a chance, check out nycurbanlegends.com. nycurbanlegends.com.
Okay.
It's a collection of my sculptures. I make fake New York City history, and one of them is an octopus that pulls the Staten Island ferry down. The reason why you never heard of it was because it happened the day that JFK was assassinated.
Oh, is that so? I remember where I was in college. I was in Ithaca, New York. What a day. I'll never forget it. I get it. We once did a show called A Sit Down, where instead of going to Judge Judy, we take you to the back of an Italian restaurant in Little Italy for a sit down with a mobster. And because they have that Solomonic wisdom, you honor your mother, you do the right thing, all of that stuff. And we couldn't get a gangster to really do it. So there's a cop Dennis, who I liked so much, and he lives on Staten Island, but he looked like he could be a mobster. We put rings on him, and he was just great. It just never went as a series, but it was fun.
That sounds pretty funny.
Dennis Boyles, his name was. He lives on Staten Island. Very kind. Oh, you made my day, and I thank you for letting me barge in. Thank you.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you, Ross.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Take care, mate. Bye-bye.
Oh, that's fantastic. Great surprise.
You guys are welcome. Honestly, when I told Jeffrey about this call, he was like, I have to meet these guys. So I'm like, absolutely, let's make that happen. So again, Mark, thank you very much for coordinating all of this, because it was great to be able to have Jeffrey come on board. And now you've met Deputy Hendricks. There you go. Amazing, right?
That's so cool. Yeah, really cool.
No, you're welcome.
Thanks a lot.
No, you're absolutely welcome. Well, are you guys ready for some controversial questions, some fun questions?
Sure.
You can answer these in any particular order you like, but the first question is this, and this is based on Jaws. Out of Chrissy, Alex, Pippet the dog, Ben Gardner, the estuary victim, and Quint, if you can only save one of them, who would you save and why?
Because he's a really good shark hunter.
Quint, because he's a really good shark hunter. Okay, all right. Well, he's not that good because he died though, didn't he?
Mark?
I don't know. The one that really scared me as a kid was the estuary, right? Like that was the scene where we first see the shark, and it's not just this hidden thing, right?
Yeah.
But if we could save anybody, Alex is just such a big team, but he's just a kid. But I don't think we would have had the impact of what would happen without him.
True.
Dog, I'm a dog fan, so maybe we never really saw him off camera though, right? So maybe Pippett's went off to a farm somewhere and upstate, I'm sure, and it's fine today, right?
I would have to say Pippet.
You're gonna. Well, I'm glad that you guys have said Pippet because I made a video a few years ago about Pippet the dog just to learn a bit more about the story behind this dog, and I made a discovery. Now there's a shot of Roy Scheider running down what's known as now the Jaws Bridge, and this is just after the estuary attack, and Michael Brady's being pulled to shore, and Roy Scheider runs towards the camera down the bridge and vaults over the bridge to get to Michael, right?
Right.
If you look in the background of that shot, there's a black Labrador on the bridge. So it's possible that Pippet lived, or it could just be another black Labrador dog. I don't know.
I've never noticed that. That's amazing.
Get out of there.
I think he got out of there. I think he did.
Yeah.
Next controversial question. Did they need a bigger boat?
I guess so, because if the boat was bigger, Quint could have had more runway to get away from Jaws and wouldn't get eaten.
That's a good point, Mikey.
That's actually a really good point. No one said that yet. It would have given Quint more time to escape. God, he's clever, isn't he?
He could have got the Staten Island ferry instead, right?
There you go.
What about you, Mark and Joe? Do you think they needed a bigger boat?
Knowing what I know now, what Mikey just said, a bigger boat would have definitely helped.
Yeah.
I think you've absolutely answered that question. Okay, the last controversial question. Given everything that happened in Jaws, how is Mayor Vaughn still the mayor in Jaws 2?
That's a great question.
We come to us from across the pond, but if you've noticed political situations here in the US, it's very likely that somebody would get reelected after a horrific first term. So
Don't ask me, but I never watched the second one.
yeah, that's still on his list.
Oh, it's still on your list. Oh, so it's a spoiler. I'm so sorry. Well, okay, just to let you know, there are two things, Mikey. One, in Jaws 2, there is another shark, and there's also another mayor, and it's the same guy. But apart from that, I'm not going to tell you anything about the movie.
Different shark.
Well, the other one got blown to smithereens. So unless that's like one heck of an invincible shark, I'm hoping it's a different one for sure. Yeah, it's a good shout. It's a good shout. Oh, guys, this has been so much fun. What I'm going to do, we're going to wrap up shortly because I've only got really sort of one more question, and I'm fascinated to hear the answer to this. It's 50 years since the original movie came out. I mean, this movie is 5 times older than Mikey, which is just incredible to think. Why are we still sat here talking about it 50 years later? What makes this movie so special?
It's an amazing movie. It's adventure plus comedy plus monstrous, and you get a huge movie pie.
Huge movie pie. I
That is
love
a
that.
great answer.
Oh my God. I need a microphone to drop. I can't drop this because it's attached to a bracket, but Mikey, that is a mic drop moment. You drop that mic. Oh my God. You need your own show, buddy. You need your own. Why am I doing this? You should be hosting the show. What is going on here? Oh my God. That's unbelievable. Okay. Well, I'm going to put it out there. I mean, dare you guys to, is there anything more to add to what Mikey's just said?
No, enough said on that.
I think absolutely.
It's completely timeless. I think it just is a perfect snapshot into that period of life, and knowing like the legacy that Steven Spielberg and everybody involved in that movie had since. That was the first big movie ever. Right? That was the first.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then you go back and you look at all the movies that have come since. In a way, you always look back at Jaws as being that first really big movie that got everybody talking.
Yeah.
And it's like comfort food now too. At this point, every year put it on just around the 4th of July weekend where it takes place, and that's the kickoff to the summer. Watching Jaws, pretty much.
It's perfect. It really is. And again, I mean, a lot of people are surprised that I'm a Brit celebrating this movie because it is become part of the American pop culture in terms of entertainment and movies, and also 4th of July and all those things. But it just shows that a good story crosses ponds, it crosses oceans, it crosses boundaries, it crosses all kinds of things. And I think what Mikey
Absolutely.
said, you put these 3 or 4 key elements together, you get this amazing movie pie that you just keep wanting to go back and eat again and again and again
Movie
and
pie.
again. That's what he said. That's what you said, wasn't it, Mikey? Movie pie, right?
Yeah, movie pie. That's a great phrase. Hey, Mikey, I got to steal that.
Yeah, big movie pie. That's
That's it. Exactly. Oh my God. Well, guys, I honestly don't know where else to take this conversation because this has been absolutely amazing. Those are all of my questions. Do you have any questions for me?
audience.
Mark?
What do you want to show?
Go for it, Mikey.
This.
Oh, okay.
I made some Lego bricks. You see,
You-
I didn't have much Lego bricks to spare because I had a whole bunch of other stuff to make. So I just made it blocky. And if you look inside, it's empty.
Do you know what you just put in there? Lego Quint.
You can put at least a, character with short legs. 'Cause
Well, after Jaws is finished with them, they've normally got no legs. So you could definitely fit somebody in there for sure. Oh, guys, this has been brilliant. Mikey, thank you so much for sharing that, dude. That was awesome.
you're welcome.
I have I have one thing to add, Ross.
Go
in
for
the
it.
comments, a lot of times in the comments, everybody says he's gonna need a bigger crib or a bigger bed. We actually made a bigger bed, a bigger crib, like a twin size one. And I got photos. If you want, I could email it to you.
Oh, we'd love to see that because the caption that I go with whenever I post it is he's going to need a bigger diaper because he just looks so scared.
I think that actually him crying in the bed is totally what made it go viral. The reaction, that really makes it totally absurd. The crib itself and the baby crying, that was the perfect two together,
Claire, we do have pictures of him smiling in it, and I do think he posted one of those, which we appreciate that. But every time it pops up somewhere, we go through the 500 comments of how we've abused our child by putting him in a plastic shark bed. Mikey, I want to clear for the record here. Are you a cake?
No!
Yeah, everybody thinks it's a cake. It's not a cake.
Oh, this is why I had to ask the question straight away. Like, Mikey, are you okay? And you are more than okay. You are absolutely fine. You're a Lego genius, and you should be hosting your own podcast, I think.
There you go.
So yeah, let's watch this space. Well, guys, I've been Ross for the Daily Jaws, speaking with Joe, creator of the Jaws Crib, Mark, baby father of Jaws Baby, and most importantly of all, the star of the show today, Mikey, Jaws Baby. Mikey, do you want to bid the watchers and listeners a fond farewell and adieu?
Yeah, Jaws fans.
Farewell and adieu.
Love, love
There
it.
you go.
That's the one, guys. Tune in for more interviews, guys. There's plenty more to come only at thedailyjaws.com. That's it for today's deep dive into Jaws, the film that turned beaches into no-swim zones and created the summer blockbuster. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to follow, rate and review. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And remember, just when you thought it was safe to stop listening, there's plenty more episodes to come. Please be sure to check out the work of Minorities and Shark Sciences and also the Tourette's Association of America. That's it for now, guys, but I'll catch you next time. I'll drink to your legs.